Hey all, welcome to ShareTrekc. This is Raj here. Friends, I thought that we should talk about PACB because PACB reports its earnings this Monday, and I thought we should take a quick look at what is happening to PACB because we have not reviewed this company in a while. Pacific Biosciences share price has been dropping, but not as bad as Illumina. The company has been dynamic, but I have had my concerns about its pricing. Let's take stock of the major developments of PACB in the last quarter and draw some conclusions about what should happen in this earnings release. And that will prepare us for the outcome. So with that said, let's get started. Welcome back, friends. The first data point I found on PACB is bearish in my opinion. So in the third quarter of 2023, Christian O. Henry, the CEO and president of Pacific Biosciences, netted around $980,000, selling shares at an average price of US dollar 10.12. That sales reduced his total holding by 29%, which is a significant chunk. But far from the worst that we have seen so far. Let me quickly show you the insider trading transactions in the last quarter so that you can get an idea of what I'm talking about. So we are in a website called Simply Wall Street. You guys can check it out. It's a very good website, gives a lot of analytics. And in here, they have this recent insider transaction for Pacific Biosciences. And you will see the biggest is this one out here, 96,844 sale by Christian O. Henry, netting $980,000 on 17th of September 2023. And then you have, I'm just going to track down all the time that Christian had sold his shares, insider shares. So the first one was on 30th of November 2022, and that was 45,000 shares at 10.84. And then he sold on 16th of February 2023, which was just 1,530 shares. And then on 2nd of March 2023, he sold, this is Q1, he sold around 13,769 shares, still not that big. And then we have this big one out here, which is on 17th of September 2023, directly 96,844 shares, sold at $10.12 each, netting $980,255. So this is huge, my friends. This could easily be the biggest sale of PACB shares by an insider in the recent past. And since the sale, the share price has dropped almost 30% to reach $7.11. I'm not saying that the share price has dropped because Christian sold it. And I'm also not saying that Christian knew that it's going to fall. That's why he sold it. No, none of those things. I'm just stating the facts that are there. I'm not drawing any conclusions on that one. But this takes me to the second data point, which is also bearish, and that is despite the drop in the share price, from a price to sales perspective, PACB is at 11.6 times price to sales, whereas industry fair value is estimated to be around 5.5 times. So I'm anticipating further price drops should be expected given that PACB has been unprofitable so far. And price to sales is a meaningful metrics for unprofitable companies. A low price to sale is better than a high one. And from this point of view, we can say that PACB is overpriced if it continues to remain unprofitable. So that's the second bearish point. And then I would like to talk about another development that happened in early August 2023. Pacific Bio announced at that time that it has entered into an agreement to acquire Apton Biosystems, which is a Bay Area-based company developing a high-throughput short-read sequence using state-of-the-art optics and image processing paired with novel clustering and chemistry that is designed to enable sequencing of billions of clusters of DNA on one flow cell. And their strategy for acquisition is that a combined organization plans to integrate Pacific Bio's sequence by binding, or SBB as they call, which is a short read chemistry, into Apton's high throughput instrumentations to offer a differentiated high throughput sequencer. In other words, they are planning to marry the technology of Apton with PACB. PACB is already proven and it's in the market, SBB. and they're going to integrate it with Apton's technology and come up with a even more potent and more effective and cost-effective technology, which could have a much better performance in the market. And as per the CEO of Pacific Biosciences, Mark Van Ooyen, PACB can quickly start integrating their SBB chemistry onto Apton's high-throughput sequencing instruments, which PACB believes will significantly decrease the time required to develop the new improved platform. So in other words, the next generation of the platform will be up and ready very, very quickly. And as for Pacific Bio, SBB sequencing is a short-read sequencing technology that works by measuring the light signals from fluorescently labeled nucleotides when they are bound but not incorporated by a polymerase on a DNA strand. A computer then matches the light signals with a corresponding nucleotide base. And as per Crunchbase, Apton Biosystems develops an optical system designed for sequencing and protein detection using super resolution to assess molecules spaced closer than a wavelength of light, and it enables biomarker discovery, early disease detection, and therapeutic monitoring, advancing preventative health and precision medicine. So my imagination is that when these two technologies are married, not only is it going to be more precise and more powerful in reading, but also it's going to be cheaper, and it's going to be able to provide more depth of sequencing to the equipment than that is present with Pacific Bio at this point of time, which in turn will translate to better profitability on those machines and higher demand for those machines and reduced cost of sequencing. So now I dug into Apton because we need to know what is the premium that Pacific Bio is paying. And for us retail investors, it's very difficult to find out the premium because first of all, Apton is a startup company. So how do you value this startup? So one of the ways I'm looking at it is a very simplistic way. How much money have they raised? Of course, from the money they have raised, they have been paying salaries and they have been spending on research. So the cash balance would have deteriorated, but there is IP. And that IP would be worth the cash that they have spent on it. So this is the way I'm looking at it, and assuming that whatever funding they have got is the value of the company. So Apton had first round of funding in 2015 and the latest round of funding in 2021. And the total funds that they have netted throughout all their funding rounds is $31.6 million. So that's the worth of Apton. And Pacific Bio's acquisition agreement for Apton provides for upfront consideration of approximately $86 million in an all-stock transaction consisting of approximately 6.3 million shares of Pacific Bio common stock, plus an additional 25 million in stock, cash, or a combination of stock and cash payable in connection with the achievement of 50 million in revenue associated with the high throughput sequencer using Apton's technology, for an overall transaction valued up to approximately 110 million. So in my opinion, this represents a significant premium, albeit conditional, but it is significant premium. Here is how I think it will impact the stock price. I'm looking at both short term and long term. In the short term, it is going to be bearish because the issuance of new shares for the acquisition can lead to equity dilution, which may put a downward pressure on the stock price. Investor may react negatively to the uncertainty of the revenue milestones and how they affect the 25 million payment, potentially leading to increased stock price volatility. And the integration challenges, if any, could also have a short-term negative impact on the stock. So we have already seen the stock price fall since the acquisition. And in the long term, it's mixed. The long-term impact can be more mixed and depends on the success of the acquisition. If Apton's technology proves to be valuable and revenue targets are met, it can enhance Pacific Bio's capability and market position, which could be a positive factor for the long-term growth. On the other hand, if the integration is problematic or if revenue targets are not achieved, it might lead to long-term issues and potentially result in a bearish outlook. Overall, the long-term impact will depend on the execution of the acquisition and the value it adds to Pacific Bio business. So just to summarize my thoughts, while the short-term impact appears bearish due to dilution and uncertainty, the long-term impact is contingent on the success of acquisition and the benefit it brings to Pacific Bio's business. If you look at the technicals, let us see what it shows. So let me take you to the TradingView platform for that. Right now we are in the TradingView platform, and this is the price chart for Pacific Bio. Each of these candles is a one-day candle. And I've drawn a channel out here, a bear channel, which shows a support line in the bottom, which is this thick green line, and the resistance line at the top, which is this thick red line. We have a low momentum, below average momentum, and also MACD is bearish. So things are not looking that great. And as I mentioned, that in early August, Pacific Bio announced the collaboration. So if we were to go into August, so this is around early August is around somewhere out here. Since early August, we have seen a steady fall in the price. This is because of the equity dilution that has happened. New shares were issued for around $25 million. And so this trend is continuing. So we better expect something good in the earnings. The earnings EPS expectation is negative 0.289. And I'm thinking that things could be worse than minus 2.89 because I'm not sure if the acquisition was factored into this EPS estimate. In my opinion, based on what I've seen in Crunchbase, Apton had less than 50 employees, but still it's going to increase the salary cost and also infrastructure costs. So operating expenses are going to go up. And as a result of which, there could be a pressure on the profitability. So earnings per share, EPS, is likely to be not achieved. This is my opinion. And revenue estimate of 48.764 million probably will be achieved. PACB has always met and exceeded earnings achievement in the last so many quarters. So I'm not worried about that, but I think from a EPS perspective, there might be a potential disappointment. And that's what I'm thinking. So let's see what happens when the Q3 2023 results are declared on Monday. I personally think that given the company is not profitable and the potential equity dilution that has happened and could happen, we better have some good earnings numbers, or else there is going to be further downside for this share. I personally don't have any PACB. Will I be buying PACB? No, I'm going to see what happens with the earnings result. And this sector is becoming a bit dicey because we have seen the problems that have beset Illumina, and Illumina is still struggling. It's also continuing to fall. PACB has its own challenges now. And on top of this, the overall economic environment is not looking that great. So if you look at the interest rate, for example, the Fed is holding the interest rates and they want to see inflation going down. But if we look at the GDP numbers that have come in, they are pretty strong. And so that along with the tight labor market is giving me a bit of concern. So I'm going to keep cash in hand personally. And wait for better deals. And my focus is on FNGU, even though we are a genomics blog and I'm focusing on genomics here. I've already had my share of CRISPR, and I've had my share of Bluebird, and I've had my share of DNA. I'm not putting a single penny more into genomics at this point of time. But with every subsequent fall, I'm going to be buying FNGU, that is ETF, XXX leveraged on FANG stocks. So I've already got my first batch of 50. I bought it yesterday, I think at around 132 or something. I'll have to check it up. But I have got further orders at 129 and another somewhere close to 100. So I'm thinking that we're going to see those numbers on FNGU, and it bounces back very quickly. So it has got exaggerated movements upwards and downwards. So I'm putting my money there. Last time I made a profit of around $8,200 on FNGU. I had bought it at sub 100 levels. So this time also I'm aiming for the same thing. I'm catching a falling knife going downwards in a gradual manner. But I'm pretty sure it's going to bounce back because what it is reflecting is Apple, Microsoft, Netflix, Meta, Google, those kind of companies. So that's what I'm doing. And friends, whatever I say in this channel is all my personal opinion, not financial advice. So please do your own due diligence before you put any money into the share market. And again, let me tell you a few more things that I have mentioned earlier. Of course, most of the people in our channel are savvy investors, and very few of you ask me whether you should buy a particular share or not. But I have had a few questions like that. So I would like to say that, always make your own decision when to buy, when to sell. Because it all depends on your risk appetite, your financial position, and what you think about the stock. And that is a very dynamic factor, and that can change. So right now I might feel that I want to buy a share, and maybe in another hour or so I might decide that I don't want to buy it. So I don't ever give advice to anybody to buy something or sell something. It's entirely up to you. This is just my personal opinion. I'm just a retail investor like you with a YouTube channel, that's all. And I'm looking forward to your comments. I want to have your opinions in the comment section so that I can also get educated, because all of us see different things. We are looking at the share from different angles. So please participate, put your comments below, and I look forward to reading them. With that, I would like to end this video here. And friends, before I go, I'd like to ask you to visit our website, www.sharetrek.com. We have a bunch of members and Patreons who have been supporting the channel, and that has enabled me to get an email for ShareTrekc as well as a website. Please check it out. I have blogs out there, and I look forward to blog posts from you guys as well. If you have some interesting articles, please send it across. I'll curate them and I'll put them in our website. With that, I would like to say bye. I'll catch up with you in the next video.